age. Can't imagine why, but anyway, they do. It's a sympathy wave. But also the Eddie Stobart people, Caravan Club members, we all used to flash our lights and we would wave. We didn't know who they were, we just waved at them. And I get it. If I'm going down the motorway and I'm behind a coach with school kids on, I get kids in the back window waving. And I was, the other day, where was I? I was sitting at the traffic lights and this little kid goes past with his mum. He was only about 5 or 6 and he looked at me and he poked his tongue out. So I poked my tongue out and he gave me the thumbs up. Simple. Which I thought it's just like people poking their tongue out. But I do get kids in the back of coaches waving from the back of the coach, you know, so I Dumbo, wave back. You know, you can just imagine, can't you? Come on, we're at the back of the bus, we're waving at this bloke driving this car. That's Steve Allen. He's the biggest programme on the road. Huge and all this kind of stuff. But it's very funny. Very funny. Steve, every time a bus full of people got stuck in traffic outside my shop, says Ben, I would have waved it and every other bus wanted to know I'm waving it. Oh, I'll tell you who else waves, I've just remembered. People on boats. If you're taking the boat up to Hampton Court or, you know, Dominic the other day took it down to a thing. If you're on a boat, you go past another, people wave. People wave on boats. It's very peculiar. Bus drivers, what do bus drivers? I always say, yeah, I mean, have you waved at a bus driver? Just each other. Yeah. It's good though, isn't it? I'm going to start waving on this programme actually. They don't wave back, it's so cute. It's unnecessary as well. I like to pretend they know me. They don't really. It's just work with me. It's not quite the same as it. Oh look, we're all waving because we're all chums and friends. Professional people. What if everybody does that? The boats definitely get people, but it's the two boats pass each other in Richmond. Have you ever done the boat to Hampton Court from Richmond? We should do it. It's a good thing. A couple of hours. You have to sometimes change your boat at Kingston. Why it can't go all the way up, I've got no idea. Yeah, it's like my bus. And that was quite nice. That's lovely because you see exactly the same view that Henry VIII saw when he came up from London. Because it took them 2 days to come from London to get to Hampton Court. And there's a clock inside Hampton Court in the inner courtyard which shows the tides, so they could work out when to go back down again. Because Hampton Court Palace is a lock-up palace. It was like a holiday place, and they would phone up, you know, go, hello, Hampton Court Palace, Henry VIII is coming up tomorrow, and they would have to open all the shutters up, take all the dust covers off the furniture. It would go up there. 700 people would descend on the place. It's lovely. There you go. Turk launches. That's down at Richmond. They've got a boat which has got a paddle thing at the back. Whether it's actually powering it, I don't know. But that's quite nice. But you can get a cup of tea. I like a cup of tea on a boat. It's simple, really. Yeah, I've discovered actually the older you get, there are advantages. More seats. More seats, please. Yeah, Freedom Pass. And some bloke got on the bus, used his Freedom Pass early the other day, 8 o'clock in the morning, they let him on. Bit naughty. Bikers wave at each other as well. Which is quite good. Good idea. Train drivers wave at each other. Yes, actually I have seen train drivers do that, don't they? But definitely bus drivers. You see people wave, and you know, even if you don't know them, we wave, which is good. See, we there you go. We train drivers wave at each other. Good for you. I think it's quite friendly, isn't it? I don't know these people. It makes you feel a bit better about life. Channel 5's history twist for Anne Boleyn and Jane Seymour. Apparently, they had a kiss, and I don't quite get it at all. This is the latest twist in Channel 5's three-part drama. Anne Boleyn is still at the end because what it does, it explores the final months of her life leading up to the trial on charges, you remember, of treason, incest and adultery, and ultimately execution. She was beheaded. They don't really have anything else in those days, but the kiss is an exposition of power between two women who know that only one of them can have Henry's heart. It's very peculiar, isn't it, really? But Anne, played by Jodie Turner-Smith, takes a walk with Jane, and then she sort of kisses her. I mean, whether that was true, I don't know. I don't think it would have been true actually at all. But it's on Channel 5 tonight. Why do they keep changing things? Why do they, they go, oh, this is sort of the latest thing. So Anne Boleyn in this one is black, which is sort of, it's a character, but because you're playing, this is And again, men with a family history of prostate cancer should be screened in their 40s. Lovely. How many people are waiting on NHS waiting lists? 4.95 million. There's stuff to be done. 300,000 fewer patients referred for cancer treatment. And as of now, more than 50 times as many people in Britain are dying from cancer as of COVID-19. 1 in 6 children with mental health disorders after lockdown. 2,000 pubs closed for good in 2020. And close all over the place. But around here, and it's noticeable here, is restaurants have closed down. And you know they've closed because they take their signs down. What did I say? I don't know if you go around Oxfordshire, there's a couple of them, they
Citizens Conversation, LBC, with Steve Allen.
Very interesting. They've got a picture in the Daily Mail today. I've only ever found it in the Daily Mail, and it's of a shepherd's hut. Now, shepherd's hut, you can buy these brand new. They make them for a great little companies. I've seen them advertised. They did a big feature in Country Life a few weeks back on shepherd's huts. Some of them are about £3,000, some of them, you know, £15,000, £20,000, £50,000, it depends. And there's one here that came up for sale, and a sheep farmer's been outbid by a Londoner who wants to use it as a holiday home. I mean, it's not really very big at all. It really isn't. 8 foot high, 9 foot wide, and 6 foot deep, riddled with rot, and it's got a leaky roof. Its value was £800. This Londoner forked out for it 16,000. 16,000 for this thing. The underbidder was terribly disappointed. He stopped bidding at £8,000. Had a think and carried on till he really had enough at 11,500. And then it was fought over. So somebody paid 16 grand for this thing, which you've literally got to rebuild from scratch again. I mean, I don't know how they're going to manage it. My father died, so we carried out the sale of the contents, and the family was over the moon with the result, and what a tall surprised. What a tall surprise. I mean, £16,000 for a shepherd's hut. I mean, so the one this size you could actually get an awful lot cheaper. And it's like people buying gypsy caravans. There are companies that make gypsy caravans, and they're like, I mean, this is it. Look at 16,000 for that. You could buy a new one in gypsy. It really is in a terrible state. Look at the interior, and he wants to use it as a holiday home. And the diseases in 2020 compared with 75,000 from COVID. Report by Dr. Briggs says smoking was the leading cause of preventable deaths in Oxfordshire, costing 120 million to the public purse. So they're going to stop. 12% of Oxfordshire's population currently smoke. People earning lower incomes, those with mental illness, the homeless and travellers are at a higher rate of smoking. But how are they going to police it? I mean, is this a police matter? We don't know if it's a police matter. I have no idea what it does entail. They just say makes it a lot easier, doesn't it? What's the point of worrying it? Because you can't. So in other words, you're sitting in a restaurant, you just nip outside for a cigarette, which people do. And you won't be able to do that in Oxfordshire. Don't tell the mayor, for God's sake. Yes, you have to go to the next county. I'll have to get in the car. I'll drive. I'll be about an hour and a half. All right. I'll go and have a quick 3-minute cigarette, and on second thoughts, I'll smoke on the way there in the car. That'll be easier. I got a letter, some while ago now actually, from Longhurst and Putt Productions Limited. They make films, little films, and they had a film called Lucas and Albert. And now the industry is very hard hit. They're way down the list because they're low budget independents. But in fact, they are going to be at the Romford International Film Festival at the Premier Cinema, the Mercury in Romford, on the 27th of June. They're also at the Princess Theatre in Clacton-on-Sea on the 17th of June. It's a Thursday, supporting Alfie's Journey, just for children, a little local lad who needs help. And then they're up for the National Film Awards. They've been nominated for Best Film. So that would be lovely if they actually got it, wouldn't it? Lucas and Albert. It's got all sorts. It's about two aging hitmen put together by a mysterious crime boss. It's got A.G. Longhurst, James Osborne, of course, Kim Tailforth, that's Gillian's sister, plus what was the other one we got in it? John Altman from EastEnders. So there's a lot of people in it. Sorry? Nasty Nick. Oh, I don't know, Nick. I don't know. Why you treat me like this? You're so awful to me. But anyway, so good luck to them, because I mean it can't be easy. I get the stage every week, and you know, I mean, you look at the adverts, people who haven't been employed for ages and ages and ages, and people who are really, really struggling. So to all those people, but Longhurst and Putt Productions based in Clacton-on-Sea, which is lovely. So a screening of the film, which is Lucas and Albert, and that's going to be at the Princess Theatre in Clacton-on-Sea on Thursday the 17th of June. If you live in that neck of the woods, check it out. The other one is the Romford International Film Festival at the Premier Cinema, the Mercury in Romford, on Sunday the 27th of June at 1:30. And good luck at the National Film Awards. That'll be quite nice. They are up against a lot of other people, but listen, they've been nominated for Best Film. You can only wish them the very best of luck. So 60. I'm definitely going to buy a Gypsy Caravan. I definitely want one. They're so beautiful. It's the decoration I love. I tell you what I like actually. I've always liked it. Sign writers who you see going to circuses and fun fairs. You see them sitting on their trestles and they're doing that beautiful writing that's on the side of everything. Well, it's not calligraphy. They're doing all the. I think it's called. There is a book out. I think it's called Funfair and Circus Art, or something like that. And it's just absolutely beautiful. It really is. It's sort of something you think, now why can't I do that? But I can't, unfortunately. But it is an art form. So all the wagons were painted. In America, these circus wagons from Barnum and Bailey's, there's a book of the photographs of those huge wagons, which are absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. So I quite like the idea. It's an art form. You can't just do it yourself. You've got to bring a professional in. Charlie Watts today, the London-born drummer, a Rolling Stone since 1963, hated the female attention the band got in the early days. Said girls chasing her down the street screaming. It was horrible. Horrible. How old is he today? Charlie Watts is 70s. Good guess. He's 80. He's 80. Also, Dominic Cooper, the actor from London, starred in Mamma Mia, and the sequel. Not bad for a student who was banned from his final year musical at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art for having no sense of rhythm. He's 43 today. Many happy returns of the day. Also, Heather Cooper was born on this day in 1949. She died last year. Actually, we used to use Heather Cooper. She was the astronomer and broadcaster, appeared on the sky at night. Sir Patrick Moore recalled, she wrote to me when she was a little girl and said, is there any future for me in astronomy? And he said, there is. She became president of the British Astronomical Association. We used to use her on my overnight programme, and unfortunately she enjoyed a trip to the bar before she appeared on the programme. My producer used to say to me, I think she's had a few sherbets. Occupational hazard. In 1897, you'll know this quote, but you might not know who it came from. The American writer Mark Twain responded to claims that he died, saying dryly, the report of my death was an exaggeration. So there you go. It's 6:13, Steve Allen's Early Breakfast on LBC, the news headlines with Simon Conway.
The government's announced an additional £1.4 billion of funding to help children who face disruption to schooling due to COVID-19. Some pupils in England will be offered extra tutoring, but education unions say the package is hugely disappointing. The England is rolling out body cameras to paramedics following a sharp rise in attacks on frontline staff. More than 3,500 ambulance workers reported being assaulted in the last year, a rise of 32% in 5 years. Joe Biden has become the first sitting US president to visit the site in Tulsa where hundreds of black Americans were killed by